Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing nonlinear regression. So sometimes you'll get a scatter plot and you're going to think, what's the best regression line that would fit this data? And sometimes the data is best suited to a nonlinear function. And that's what we're going to look at today. So for number one, it tells us to find a quadratic regression. So we're going to be using a quadratic function. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to the top left where we have the plus button. It'll say add item, and we're going to choose a table. So now you see the table. All the x values are going to go on the left side, and all the y values associated with those x values are going to go on the right side. So my x values, I'll put them in right here. I'm going to use 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, and 4.5. That'll be the last x value. And now I'm going to put in the y values associated. I'm going to use 0, 17.2, 31.5, 42.9, 51.6, 57.7, 61.2, 62.3, 61.0, and 57.2. So make sure that your chart lengths match up. However many x values you should have exactly that many y values. So they have to pair up. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to look at our scatter plot. Right now, we can't see any of the dots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the bottom of the box where it says zoom fit. You'll see this magnifying glass with a plus on the inside. We're going to click that once, and it's going to show us all of our dots in our scatter plot. Now, you're probably thinking, a line is not best suited for this. That is correct. So we're going to use a quadratic function. So to do that, I'm going to click in box 2. And I'm going to use a quadratic regression. Now to do that, go to the bottom where it says show keypad. We're going to click on the keypad at the bottom and it's going to pop up. The first thing that we're going to use is our y. So we're going to choose y, and we need the subscript of 1 to match up with our chart. So I'm just going to click the 1 button over here. And now you'll notice the y has a subscript of 1. Next, we need the regression symbol, which is the tilde. To find that, you're going to go to ABC right here and click that. And then on the bottom row of the keypad, you'll see this squiggle symbol. We call that the tilde, or the regression symbol. Click it once. And now we need to go back to 1, 2, 3. But first, I'm going to choose the A. And that's going to be my quadratic coefficient. So now we're going to choose x1, make sure that x has a subscript of 1, and we're going to square that. Next, we need plus bx. So I'm going to click on plus, and then I need to go to ABC to get the b. And now I need x1. So I'm going to click 1, 2, 3 to go back to my x. I'm going to put a 1 right there, so it'll have a subscript of 1. And then the last thing that I need is my constant, which is going to be a plus c. Okay, so that is our quadratic regression equation. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit the keypad to hide it. And now you'll see that inside this box, you'll have all the information that you need to do your quadratic regression. Now, under statistics, it'll tell you the r squared value. This r squared value is going to be 0.9999. The closer that is to 1, the better your regression is going to be. Over here, under residuals, you will see E1. Those are going to be your error terms. We're going to click on the plot button. And then our error terms associated with each dot are going to show up near the x-axis. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make a quadratic function based on these 3 parameters at the bottom. So it tells you what A is, what B is, and what C is. And we're going to be using all 3 of these numbers to make our quadratic function. So now we're going to click on box 3, and we're going to use our function notation, which is f of x. Okay, so I type in f of x equals, and now I need my a. That's going to be negative 5.20758. And now I need x squared. Plus, now I need my b term. That's going to be 35.9965. And I'm going to put an x at the end of that. That's the linear coefficient. And then at the very end, I'm going to add c. That's going to be my constant. C is equal to 0.371818. And now the purple function that shows up on your screen should be the exact same thing as your blue function, because we're using the exact same numbers that it gives us in box 2 right here. So now we have our quadratic function. And now we can use this function to make predictions. So the first question asks, predict y when x equals 5. So if x was 5 right here in this chart, what would its y value be? Well, if x is 5, all we have to do is type in f of 5, and it's going to tell us what our y value is going to be. And in this case, it's at the bottom. It gives us 50.164818. And we can round that to the nearest tenth to get 50.2. So that's how you can make predictions using a quadratic regression. And I hope that helps.